all the fans out there, I'm representing you, and I am holding Melissa Rycroft's championship trophy. Welcome, Melissa.
Thanks. I'm excited to be here. First guest of the season.
Okay, so we are a dance show, right?
Yes.
And what the fans want to know is, first we're going to reminisce.
Okay.
So let's reminisce about your season on, we had 2 seasons.
I did have 2 seasons.
I mean, what is it like? You get to do this experience twice.
Yeah, so the first time, so embarrassing to admit, I had actually never seen the show. So I got a call right after my season of The Bachelor and when everything aired, and it was a Thursday I got the call. They said Nancy O'Dell injured herself, the show goes live Monday, could you come out? And I'm like, I don't know, I gotta work in my cubicle, I've got my new boyfriend. Obviously, ultimately came out and said yes, but I was so naive. I remember my first rehearsal with Tony, who the producers had to tell me who they're like, his name is Tony. Go in and say Tony. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. And Tony and I are talking, cameras are on us, and I was like, man, I can't wait to meet Nigel Barker. And he goes, wrong show. And I went, I'm so green. But I think that's why we did so well. Mm-hmm. I didn't know. I didn't know the pressure, whereas everybody else on the cast, come week 5, they were starting to really feel the competition and take it super seriously. I was like, I don't have to sit in my cubicle today, so this is a win.
And coming off from The Bachelor, so I'm sure it was like a breath of fresh air.
Absolutely.
Right?
It was just a change in energy. What was kind of, dark and controlled, it was just a place where I could be me and be happy, and Tony and I had a blast. It was so fun.
And can I say, I love Nancy, but when you came on, we are huge fans of Tony's, okay?
Oh, yeah.
So for Tony, his face to light up and to be like, I know inside he was trying to be gracious, but inside he's like, oh yeah.
There's some people that you meet sometimes and you just click and you get along. And Tony and I had that relationship right off the bat, which is huge on that show because I have obviously danced around couples that hated each other, despised each other, and you can tell, and it makes the process not fun. You almost want to get out of the competition, but he is one of my near and dear friends. We still keep in touch now. We have vacations together. He's a great guy.
That's awesome, because when you just root for someone and you see their struggles and they just want to go all the way, or like
just want
Tony,
to win.
And I'm sure he's happy with the 3rd, but to get that 1st place on the All-Star season when you got all these champions that you're dancing with.
All-Star season, I remember Tony and I first rehearsal going, okay, we'll give it week 3. I've got Kirstie Alley up here with like 2 million Instagram followers. I've got Emmitt Smith, who's just the lineup, and I was definitely low man on the totem pole, recognition-wise, name-wise, and so we went, let's just go have fun. Got nothing to lose. And then week after week, we found our footing and our groove, and I think we got better. And we kept seeing these people go and going, do we actually have a shot at this?
How in the champions?
Yes, I'm like, how in the world did Apolo go home?
Yes.
And it was crazy and surreal. And Shawn Johnson, who I absolutely adore. I mean, to beat that little firecracker, I told her at the end, I was like, she's such a competitor. She's fantastic. I never saw her struggle, but she was just so good. And so at the end of that, I was like, well, I'm really sorry you didn't win, but I'm so happy I beat you.
I was watching the clip actually last night because it made me emotional even as a fan watching that clip, and just the excitement on your guys' face is priceless.
It was like the little underdogs, when we came in and we took out the top. Like, to me, Shawn coming in, I was like, dude, Shawn's gonna totally walk away with this competition. And when it was the 2 of us at the end, and you did the play on words that Tom did with, and now they have won 2.
Yes.
Have they won 2 trophies, or have they won 1 also?
Your face.
Yeah.
It's us, right?
Yeah, we both were like, what just happened? Did we just win?
Because sometimes they can't hear and they're like, did I win?
It's hard to hear over everything. But yeah, it was really a great moment. And for Tony, he had worked how many seasons?
A lot. To
get that far. And I think it was validating for him. And I think he needed that win to keep going.
But see, I don't understand the whole underdog thing, because watching, you got amazing comments from the judges.
Underdog, again, when it came to name and notoriety, like I looked at the names going, God, these are superstars. Like these are celebrities. And I was a name on the show, but it's not like I was a caliber with a Kirstie Alley or an Emmitt Smith. And so that's why we went in going, let's just see how long our fan base can keep us in, and when it's our time, it's our time.
Well, see, me on the other side of the TV,
Yeah.
you are, because you became America's sweetheart. Everybody wanted to root for you, and I mean, still to this day, right?
Maybe.
Yes.
I like that Tony and
I
I,
get what you're saying.
I like that we approached it very, I guess, humble, you know, kind of knowing where we felt we fit in, but it worked, and it was kind of a perfect season for us.
I wanted to talk to you about Shawn because she's an Iowa girl and I'm an Iowa girl.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of, when we were doing our show back then, we were rooting for her too and rooting for you and like.
It's okay, she got her trophy.
Yeah, she got her trophy. But that's, I was wondering that competition at the end when you're like,
And
you had gotten third when she got first,
Yes.
and then you got first and she got second.
That's one of my favorite things about Shawn, and why I say that I love her. Of everybody I got to compete with, I think she was my favorite, because she and I, this girl grew up doing competition. She knows pressure situations. She knows that you can't let it control you, because we have all seen people, you're like, calm down, like take the stick out and just take a breath. It's a dance competition show.
Yes.
That's all it is. And left and right, we would see people basically kick themselves out by just getting so overwhelmed. And she and I kind of laughed the whole way, like, I don't know, not a big deal, you know?
So the pressure doesn't get to you, like of performing.
No, not really, because I kept going, what do I have to lose? I mean, yeah, I want to win, absolutely. But if I go home, is it the worst thing in the world that I got kicked off Dancing with the Stars? Like, come on now, that's still bragging rights, you know? And so, yeah, she was really good about that. And so the fact that we made it all the way, both our seasons together, it definitely brought us closer.
Well, and your talent, like, I'll post all the links to your past performances on our site. You can go to YouTube.
You don't have to do that.
No, we're fans, right? This is what we do. So the one thing I want to know about your time on Dancing with the Stars is how it changed you and like moving forward and just personally and with your career.
The first time, season 8, it was a confidence builder. And it's what I needed at that time, coming off not just a breakup, very public breakup. Yes. And that was back in the day where there was no social media, nothing. And so after the final rose was airing, I was like, I don't know what people think. Like, do they hate me? Do I look like the bad person? So you're just kind of blind, honestly. And so when I got the call for Dancing with the Stars, I remember sitting with Tony going, I don't know what to expect. I don't know if we're about to get booed, and this was a huge mistake. And I will never, I mean, it's one of the greatest moments of my life. That first minute that Tony and I stepped out on stage, our package is airing to the audience, so they don't see this. And Tony and I are on stage in that ballroom. The crowd went crazy. They all stood up. And I was like, oh my God, they like me. They like us. This is okay. And week after week, it's like I found my footing and I found the confidence that I didn't have before that. And, you know, I learned it was okay to make mistakes, you know, and it was, I mean, I grew so much in that season, and then to get a career after, like to have Good Morning America calling me after, I was like, what? Yes. Do they know I work in a cubicle? Like, what are they doing giving me a microphone on the top rated morning show? And it just continued to kind of build confidence that I needed. I was definitely lacking in that.
Your dancing definitely spoke for itself. The thing is what I like when I'm watching people dance is you're like nobody else, right? So your lines, your movements, everything. Yes, I'm not a ballroom dancer. I grew up, you know, I can dance on a dance floor, but watching the videos back, even after all these years, I mean, it's exciting. I want people to go still and like look back at your seasons and just see, because it's fun to watch and it's joy, and you just brought so much joy to the dance floor.
That goes back to, again, the fact we really were having fun. You know, it wasn't faking it out there. There was one dance. It was my first season, the quick step. No, not the quick step. Give me a second, I'll come back. Tony and I had been fighting all week. And it's Tony and I, and it's the day of the show, and I messed up dress rehearsal, and he got mad at me, and I was like, you know what? We're gonna go this whole day and not talk to each other, and we're gonna go out and we're gonna do the dance fine, and then we're gonna leave. And it's the one dance when I watch back, I'm like, God, we look like we're kind of mad at each other. No. Yeah, it was a Michael Bublé song, if you can find that one. I don't even remember. But yeah, and after that we were like, this is so stupid. Like, why? And it was the first time I really experienced how your partnership and your relationship really can affect what you do out there. And the fact that we were such good friends and had fun, I think resonated and people saw that.
Oh, my favorite, the country Viennese waltz. I was like, oh, this is awesome. I'd
Girl,
forgotten about it.
My abs on that, when I see pictures back from that, I was like, oh my God, I didn't know I could look like that. Yes, that was definitely a great one.
But I mean, it took it to you don't see Viennese waltzes like that. Who does a country Viennese waltz,
Yep, and when you get country week and then you find out you have to do a Viennese waltz, you're like, oh great, awesome. Yeah, that was a beautiful dance.
Okay, well, that was fun because, you lived it all. So to hear it again, that's what we're here is talk to the fans and bring all that to them. But, okay, so we have the season 28.
Yeah,
You've been watching
28. 28. Can you believe that? Yes, of course I'm watching it.
Like, duh.
Duh.